Wagwan NAPPYESE, and welcome to the Big Sister Empath podcast. A podcast for young empaths where we dive deeper into our feelings and receive big sisterly advice from real life experiences of seasoned global citizens and empaths to guide us on our journey to embodying the best versions of ourselves. I am your host, Essay of NAPPYESE Wellness, and I hail from Orogun Town in Delta State, Okija Town in Anambra State, and Idowina Village in Benin. I was born and raised in Lagos and became a global citizen at the tender age of 19. I'm sure you have so many questions about how I hail from three tribes, but we'll get into that in the next episodes. Allow me to welcome you to the Big Sister Empath podcast live at the Nka Ogugwa Festival 2025.
Okay. First of all, I'd like us to introduce ourselves. I'm not more of somebody that likes to talk, but I think it's important to have these conversations in these kind of settings. So I'm going to start by introducing myself properly. My names are Essay Julia Otobo, and I am, on my father's side, a native of Orogun Town in Delta State, and on my mother's side, I am a native of Okija in Anambra State, and also from the family of King Ekwesa of Idowina Village in Benin.
So she's a princess.
Basically, not to brag. But that's not the point. I'm 31 years old. And yeah, I love wellness. And I started my wellness journey because the reality of the situation is that there is a lot of trauma in my family history. If you check the history of the Benin people with colonization and yada, 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 fast forward till today, there's a lot of trauma. And even me in my present, reality, it has trickled down. And even coming to the place of acknowledging that took a long time. It took a long time. But to round things up, my wellness journey started because I was in pain, physical pain. And the physical pain was a manifestation of the emotional and the mental pain that I was feeling, and it eventually became physical pain. And I could not run or hide anymore because I literally was going to die if I did not face the pain. So, yeah, I realized, okay, I have to do something about it. And what I chose to do, I had two options. I can either do surgery, because what was happening is that I was developing scoliosis on my right side. So scoliosis, in case anybody doesn't know what scoliosis is a curvature of the spine. When your spine starts to curve. And in the history of my family, there's no such thing as scoliosis. Nobody has scoliosis. And we're tall people. Yeah, so if you have scoliosis, it's very obvious as a tall person because you'll be limping and bending to one side because of the pain that you're feeling. So I had pain from my right heel all the way to my right lower back. And I had two options. You either go with surgery to fix it, or you self-heal through yoga, because yoga can fix issues like scoliosis. And I chose to self-heal because I never really liked drugs or medicine or all that. I always believed in the power of self-healing and, my relationship with God. And so I chose to study yoga, and that really opened my mind to the world of wellness and everything that, exists beyond what we already know, beyond health. Right. So in a nutshell, that's my story.
Please, can we put our hands together for her, please?
Maya Rose is also on her own wellness journey, and she's one of our healing hosts, and we'd love to hear from her.
So my name is Maya Rose Usaro Ashongoe, and I'm just going to follow and piggyback on what Essie has said. I am from Adamawa State. My dad is from Adamawa State. My mom, my late dad actually, he died last year, so my late dad is from Adamawa State. My mom is from my mom is from Bayelsa State, and her mom is from Delta State, and her mom's mom is from Benin. So we're actually like sisters. Yeah, on some level.
And Honest is from Bayelsa State.
From Bayelsa State. Yes, I am.
Sisterhood.
Yeah. My wellness or my healing journey actually began. I feel like it's been like in stages, and so there was like the first stage where like everything that I knew about the world started collapsing and crumbling down when I began to learn the truth about like just being a melanated woman and having melanin, and like all the lies around, us being demoted into less than, and actually being like, oh wait, melanin is the most expensive mineral in the markets, in the black market, even more expensive than gold. And I was like, whoa, if that is true, then what don't I know? And so that spiraled me into like just unlearning a lot of things. And then after I got pregnant in 2020, 2021, it was a whole thing. It was pregnancy out of wedlock, and then I had to get married because I was pregnant, and so much happened. And it was like to a man that I had been dating for 8 years prior already, so we already had like a long history. But like marriage like really like brings things to the table and into like the mirror. Like you really get to see your trauma and like how it replicates with the people that you love in like the closest relationships. And so that just like catapulted me. Like it was just a very tumultuous postpartum period, which is like after giving birth, and I just really felt all of my abandonment wounds coming back and all of like the betrayal coming back. And that plummeted me into like, okay, I'm actually really wounded. Like I didn't even realize how wounded I was until that. And like being isolated during those months, and not really having a village, and all of that just really like crashed in. And so that led me into like, first of all, realizing how powerful women were. Because I was like, I've given this birth to this person, and like I feel like I'm not being respected or like seen for like the amazing thing I just did. And so it spiraled into like, oh, okay, I need to gather my sisters together. We need to have these conversations. And from there, wanting to have conversations led me into, oh wait, I realized that for so many years I've actually been living with chronic post-traumatic depression and like all of these things that I didn't even know. And then last year, actually, I found out that I had been living with borderline personality disorder because my childhood was extremely, extremely like stressful on my system. I couldn't be authentic. I couldn't cry. I couldn't like do all the things. I was like really locked in. And so it just spiraled and spiraled. And like once you open like the can of worms of healing, everything just begins to come out. And before you know it, like you're like addressing all the wounds. And so I've just been on that journey. And that's where I am now.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, so our second question, are you ready? So what might around wellness do you think we need to unlearn, especially in African homes?
Okay, but I want to pose that question to you. Have you started your wellness journey? Would you say you've started your wellness journey?
Yes, I think. This is my first time experiencing yoga. This is my first time with math. Please make some noise for me. This is my first experience and it's wonderful. It's calming, it's soothing. You know, it's something to relax, not just every day go to, not like your regular party, go to club. This is really, you know, your inner self. You talk to yourself, you communicate, you listen to your mind, and then you address your problem by yourself. So, you know, it's a beautiful
So you
experience.
started your wellness journey at Nkogogo Festival.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I would love to involve everybody here. The question is, what do we need to unlearn?
Yeah. Do we need to unlearn?
Healing hosts. Do I also have healing hosts in the house? Healing hosts and healing vendors. What do we need to unlearn? I know Masandra Zizi wants to say something. Please, come and take the mic. What do we need to unlearn as a community when it comes to our healing?
Hello everyone,
Hi.
my name is Glory Chizzy. When it comes to unlearning, it starts from you. Because you can blame every other person for what's going on in your life, but if you don't look at the man in the mirror, you might never get it right. I think the work starts from you. It starts from me and it starts from you.
Yes.
Thank you. So basically we need
Let's
to
put our hands together
Yes.
for her.
we need to stop looking outward. We need to unlearn looking outward at the chaos and
You know, there's something I want
look
us
inward.
to know. This is not like every other event, so do not expect it to look and be like every other event. This is yoga, this is wellness, this is different. It's not like your normal, you want to feel good when you go to a rave party, a club, or a restaurant. This is yoga and wellness, so you should evolve to understand. If not, you will think we're just here playing around or wasting time or just talking. So you need to involve your mind to understand what is going on. This goes out for the DJs, the vendors, to understand what is going on here. So if anybody should ask you, what do you think about what was your experience at the Nkwogugo Festival? At least you have something to say and say, this was my experience, this was how it is, this is what it's about. You know, so please, I'll plead with everybody to involve. So we're passing the mic to...
Hi. So I think we need to unlearn identifying forever with our trauma. So things happen to you and then you become aware of it. Okay, I have this wound, I have that wound. Then you evolve from it. So you don't stay stuck with it, you evolve, and it's our responsibility to evolve. And you can choose to spend 10 years evolving or 30 minutes evolving. It's as much as you want to pay attention to what's going on. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So one thing I think we need to unlearn is asking for help from... I realize a lot of people have a problem with asking for help because they assume, they just think that the person is going to think, this person, now she or he is less than me because I asked them for a favor, but that's not how it's supposed to be. In a community, you're supposed to be able to ask someone for help because you have also helped the person at some point. So it's supposed to be a give and take. It's not like, that's just my point. Just don't be so scared to ask for help. We need to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think one thing I want to pinpoint, right, and Maya Rose, you can agree with me or not. I think a lot of people are afraid of healing because, let's say the truth, healing is hard. Healing is hard. Yoga is hard and painful. The one you do there is light yoga. The real yoga is painful and nobody likes pain. But the only way out is through. Right? It's messy. You feel subconscious. So that everybody knows my pain. Everybody knows the things I've been through. everybody wants to be like looked at as if they're perfect on the outside. It's like, yeah, everything, we got our shit together, nothing can touch us, we don't have any insecurities, we do dollar. Meanwhile, something they pinch you for back, but you don't want to acknowledge like what good does that do? Like, how do you progress from there? How do you be hiding your pain? You want to pretend to the world, and it's prevalent in our community, don't you think? Everybody wants to pretend as if everybody keep up with the call. But everybody get letting they pinch them for a leg. It's something they pinch you, no lie. So why don't we just be open and vulnerable about it, and you will find your tribe, people that actually will care, enough to say we can do this together. And I also think healing is in community. Like, this is so beautiful how everybody here has come together to create space. Everybody here is making history, one way or the other. We are all making history because we stood out as Nigerians and we said, you know what, we are going to heal collectively. There's a space for healing. We're going to create space for healing, and not just only does everybody just pretending that everybody wants to do it, right?
Completely agree.
That's wonderful. Healing generally is hard because just imagine you have an outbreak, somebody you love. You have to force yourself to forget about somebody you prayed to have for the rest of your life. That process is another very difficult process. And we have to unlearn that it is not everybody we want to be in our space that will be there forever. One day we all have to move on. And then if the person doesn't want to stay with you, it's painful, it hurts, but you have to let go. And yoga is like a physical example of how heavy you feel when you carry yourself and you have to move on, you have to go. Because emotionally, you're not stable in the relationship, in the marriage or whatsoever. You found yourself, you have to move, you have to try. Healing is actually discipline.
Yes, I love that so much. Yes. That is hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah,
healing is discipline.
You have to discipline yourself, make the decision and say, I will never call this person again. I will never text this person again. Like, I remember when I have to move on from a relationship that I prayed so much to, that God should give me, I want to end up with this person. Oh Lord, please, I want to marry this guy. And then I found out he was not the one for me. The emotional, physical trauma. I told myself, if I have to die for me not to talk to this person again, let me die. And I did not die, actually. I healed. And then the person came later and be like, can we be friends? I'm like, no, I can never be your friend. That's healing. Trust me, the process was not funny. Sometimes I just hold my phone, I feel like just calling. Sometimes I look at my phone and I cry. Healing is asking yourself, is this person, why don't this person choose me? What does the other people have that I don't have? You start questioning yourself. But trust me, all that is in the process. So you have to let go of trying to change who you are, to fit into people's pockets, to demean yourself, reduce your quality, just so somebody can accept you. Sometimes they are not even up to your standard, trust me. So healing is letting go, and you have to unlearn holding who is not ready to move side by side with you.
That's beautiful. Anybody here that wants to share their healing story or their healing journey, can you please come and grab the mic? Raizi wants to share. Amazing. Thank God. One masculine energy. Let me say it.
Finally, we are. I love this.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So I'm actually happy to be here because everybody that are here are like minds with me. I like anything that has to do with health and improving wellness. So I just have a little thing to chip in. I think adults should still grow up. By adults should still grow up, I mean we should learn how to weigh our options, not out of emotion, but out of necessity. If something is necessary, just do it. Do you understand? For example, now, if you have to wake up in the morning and go for your yoga, go for your exercise, or whatever you need to do for your health, and you have sleep on this other side, your whole body will tell you to lie down. But we need to learn how to crawl out of our shells. It feels comfortable, it feels so nice. Sometimes when it feels so comfortable and so nice, that's when you need to stand up. You are enjoying it so much, that's when you need to go. Okay? So if it feels so comfortable, because the human body has been designed to relax, if you decide to relax, you don't need to do much to relax, just be there, you'll be relaxing. So if it's not night time for sleep that you're supposed to be relaxing, if you need to get up and get something done, please stop relaxing, get something done. Night will still come and you will relax. So let's do what we have to do for ourselves. At the end of the day, you should be the king of yourself. If it has to be somebody else's decision that is going to help you do or be what you want to be, and it's a mistake, make sure you are the one making all the decisions. And if somebody makes the decision, it's not okay with you, say it's not okay with me, and just go ahead. Thank you so much.
Activate your throat chakra, basically, and lead yourself. Lead yourself. I think that was the message there, right?
Yeah.
That was
I
wonderful.
think like something I picked up from you, picked up from him. It's really, one, healing doesn't happen in isolation. So you need to find community that will support you through the process of remembering who you are. Because at the core of what healing is, it's one, reclaiming your power, like she touched on that, like reclaiming your power and remembering who you are. So what he was saying in essence is, if the human being, if you were to like see it as like a butterfly that's going through the phases of growth, like we are the caterpillars first, and then we grow, and then we enter into the cocoon, and that's like the healing phase where you have to like melt and become a new person, like a new version of yourself. And then, yes, and then at the out of that, then you become the butterfly with the beautiful wings. And so that's the growth phase of like being who you are before the healing journey, and then going on the healing journey and becoming that butterfly. Shout out to Abuja Butterfly, where is she?
Okay, my name is Moses of Africa.
Hi, Moses of
And I'm
Africa.
happy I'm connecting with you guys today, and I'm happy for what Esther has been doing. The part of healing, which has always been neglected, is the fact that everybody needs that word healing in their life. It could be physical, it could be spiritual healing, it could be, depending on what you are looking out for. So healing is very important in our lives, and I'm happy that Esther has made it a point of duty to always bring healing to our soul, to our body, and to wherever we want. So I'm always appreciative of her initiative, and I always want to encourage her to keep up the good work. And actually, I'm the executive director of Moses Mentoring Foundation, where we also help young people to discover their potential, harness their talent and their skills to be the best version of themselves.
Good afternoon, everybody. I believe we are all healing. Healing is as long as you are alive, healing is a continuous process. As long as you are breathing air, you will continue healing. Now, the healing I'm talking about is not about you just being sick, like physical ailment. The healing I'm talking about is internally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, financially. I mean, everybody needs the healing, right? So life is a spiral. It doesn't stop. So with that, that means that life is a continuous process. So as long as we're breathing air, that means we need healing. So I want us to not forget that this wellness program that we're finding ourselves here is something that we need to continue like doing, just for us to like make sure we are like in that state of like alignment. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you. So beautiful.
Thank you so much, Priya. Healing is continuous.
Yes.
You cannot finish healing.
Yes.
So wellness is continuous. Right? That's the whole point of wellness. The act of being well. Being, keyword, being. So I put it up to everybody here. Pick up a practice that can promote your well-being. Can be anything from yoga to art therapy, to dance therapy, to poetry, craft. There are so many different avenues available for us. And that's kind of like the crux of this experience, to show you that there are many different avenues that are available to you, because sometimes I feel like a lot of us think that the journey from here to the psychiatric office is so far. But along the way, there's art therapy. Along the way, there's, journaling with Fuzzy Dreams, has all the tools you need. And start writing your feelings is important. There's massage therapy. If you are not ready to get mental or emotional, at least let your body relax. Every day also, go and relax. Go and relax first. All the money you are hosting from,
So
get a massage. Your body will relax, then everything else can follow. Abi, if you don't want to do painful yoga, go do enjoyment massage.
enjoyment yoga. All right. Okay, so our last question for this section. How do you deal with people who don't get your healing journey? People who don't understand essay.
Yeah, how do we deal with people who don't understand our healing journey?
To me, what I do is that I try as much as I can to make them understand what the healing is about. Yeah? Can you go over the question again? Sorry, guys.
How do you deal with people who don't get your healing journey?
My healing journey?
Yes.
That's kind of like a sensitive question, because there are lots of us Africans, because of what the society has turned into right now. It has made a lot of people not like really remember what it's like to actually heal. So I just let them flow, actually. Just find it in your own way to understand. That's what I actually do. I don't want to stress, I don't want to pressure, because life is this process. So I just let you just flow. In any way you can understand, you understand. But what I do, sometimes I try to explain. Do you understand? Because you also have to wake people up to understand what healing is about. So sometimes I try to explain what it's like.
Maya, do you agree?
I think there are like two levels to it. At the beginning of the journey, where everyone is saying you go to yoga, and they're like, isn't that like Hinduism? What are you doing? That's like spiritual, like demonic.
Yeah.
And like they see you like meditate, and they're like, what is she doing? What is he doing?
Sure.
Those aspects of the journey, it's like trying to receive the compassion or like receive the understanding. I don't think it's actually possible. But then as it progresses and you begin to embody your healing, and they're like, oh wow, this person who used to be so reactive is now so calm. Or like this person who used to be so scattered is now so centered. It's like it begins to make sense and it begins to resonate. And I feel, yeah, eventually they'll catch up. Eventually. It's like, I feel like healing is like a magnet. It draws people in. So you see essays like aura, you see Priya's aura, and like there's something about them, and that's just how it is.
Yeah. I think they both said it. And I think the last thing I would love to add is, everybody, when you begin your healing journey, your boundaries need to be clear and intact, because not everybody could explain that I give. Please, some blocks, some people be cool. and focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. That's
Can we
it.
please,
Yeah.
like,
So I'd like to add something to what Essie just said.
Yeah.
You will explain tire no evidence. There are some times when you're going through the healing process, and when you try to talk to some persons, they'll be like, this girl talks too much. You know how it feels when you're trying to explain yourself, your inner you, your pain to somebody, and maybe hoping that they'll say, try and you'll be strong, be fine, or maybe give you an advice or word or two. They'll be like, they'll just be looking at you lustfully. You know very well that nothing good is going inside that head at that point. It's frustrating. It can actually give you a different trauma. So I would just say, live inside your head. Live inside your head. Try and surround yourself with something positive. Live at the moment. Do not overthink the future. Do not overthink the past. Don't try to go back. Don't try to go forward. Stay in the moment. Try and address everything around you. Observe. If you have to put on a shade every time to cover your eyes, so people will be like, don't be like, this person looks around too much, because people talk about everything. Your journey of trying to heal is somebody's problem, actually. So if you have to put on a shade for you to stay at the moment and be like, oh, hi, this guy, he was putting on blue and black. Nice. Observe your environment. If not, you will overthink. Healing process is overthinking. Comes with overthinking, where you'll just be in the moment and you're lost. Where are you? You're inside, you're the past, what happened, how you felt, or you're in the future, what will happen by the grace of God. Just be in the moment for the meantime until you find yourself.
That's beautiful. Be present.
Be present.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to watch more of your healing journey unfold. Yeah.
I healed long time ago. My work, Big H, is a name for my ally, because I have gone through a whole lot, but I forget most of my experiences in life. I came from a polygamous family. You should imagine how it is when there is no attention on one child from the man that is supposed to be the man of the house. He's always scattered, trying to get more kids. So I will not say, because of what happened, this is what, no. I don't rub my past or my experiences at my face. I work, I push. My focus is getting what I did not get from my parents. I want to get it to myself. So I don't want to be like, my dad did not give me this, my mom, no. I'm not like that. I've healed long time ago, and I heal every day. You know, when I go home, I'll be like, God, hope that grammar I spoke did not embarrass me. I will heal from it. I'll go on. If you like, carry the wrong grammar and go to your house and go and say, okay, that was what the MC said. That's your problem. I have healed from it. I have moved forward. Okay, so, and this section that I thought would be one of the most difficult to get people to listen was actually the best for me. People engaged, because everybody is going through one or two. Unknowingly to them, you might just mention their problem. You understand? And that's beautiful when somebody can identify your problem. Somebody is sharing your deep secret and pain with you to make you feel, to know that you are not alone, no matter who you are, no matter the money you have in your account. There's somebody that goes through the same thing with you. And this section happened to be one of those sections where you can actually relate with the next person sitting and the person speaking. So, we still have a little time with us. So I'd like to give the crowd an opportunity to ask a question about healing and anything you can share with us. We're family, we're the healing family. So if you have any question to ask, Essay, you can ask Honest, BKH, you can ask Priye, or Miss Maria Rose. I always forget your name, but I've healed from it. So anybody, any question to ask?
Hi everyone. My name is Ayuba Bukumi. I just wanted to add that there's no one way to engage healing practices. And it looks different for everyone. The process is not, it doesn't look the same, and it doesn't have to be the same way. And I know as well that we currently live in a time where even healing practices are very commercialized. And it can look like you need to do so much, or you need to be something, or you need to look like something, or you need to start using certain words for you to sound like you're in a process. As a matter of fact, your journey of healing is your journey. It's not something that has to be public. It's not something that you have to talk about. It is something that you can share about in spaces where you feel safe. It is something that you can write about, but there is no one way that it has to look. It doesn't have to look like sitting in a butterfly pose with your hand in a certain mudra. It doesn't have to look like looking sporty. It just needs to be what you need per time in the moment. And like the last speaker shared, it can simply look like you reminding yourself that you are in your body with your feet on the ground and breathing. It can look like waking up every day to be grateful. It can look like engaging more compassion with the way that you move through the world. It can look like choosing to have more consideration when you're engaging people. It can look like you catching yourself when you have like negative thoughts and just rewiring and retracing that. It doesn't have to be outward, is my point. It is your journey, and that's what makes it the most authentic. Do not feel like you have to be doing certain things because that's what's been said. Look at what and be able to identify what healing from whatever situation is for you. And it's not simply situational. It can also be very contextual depending on your interpretation. So you can look at yourself and say, okay, I've observed a pattern, for example, maybe in my family, and I'm choosing to heal from that. It doesn't mean something bad has necessarily happened. It could simply mean that you want to choose a different path. And every time you're choosing something different, you are re-navigating and designing something else for the generation after you. And that in itself is healing. So it's not always that it comes with trauma. It could simply be that you're choosing a different path, making a decision or choice to move differently even within the crowd. And that in itself is healing. It comes with awareness of yourself and in consideration with others, the people around you, I mean, and the spaces that you are engaging and sharing. Thank you.
So my healing journey, at the beginning point, I offered a prayer. I was like, I need to know the truth. And that was my own prayer. And the way the universe works is that you offer an intention, it gives it back to you tenfold. And so it's as simple as I really, truly want to bring healing to this aspect of my life.
You have to be ready.
Yeah. That is the first part, like the readiness. And then you ask really from a true place, and God really offers it to you. The universe brings it to you in all different manners. You just have to be open. And before you're here, right? And so it just begins, all the doors open, and you're on that journey.
That's beautiful. So for me, I would say you have to accept. First of all, acceptance. Accept that it has happened, it has happened. There is no way you can actually undo what has been done. So you have to now carry yourself to the next stage of your life, the next phase, immediately. Procrastination is one thing that can tie you down in pain and trauma, okay? And lack of forgiveness as well can actually tie you down. So you have to forgive yourself, forgive whosoever got you into that situation, and you have to understand that if you are in that situation, as long as you want to just dwell in it, it will just keep killing you, putting you down. You have to understand that people are moving every day. You can just see your secondary school friend, you people are on the same level. The next thing, that person don't proceed by car. Not be magic. That person moved on. There are so many things. If you sit down with people and discuss, you will know that what you are going through, now beans. People have gone through worse. Do you understand? People have gone through worse. You have to understand to pick yourself immediately, whatsoever has happened, no matter how it is, even if you lose somebody, you have to move on. This life, we came in as a machine. You understand? You have to oil your mind, fuel yourself so you can be active. Things will pass you by. People will look at you and be like, this person is not ready, this person is not productive. They will move on to the next person. As you think you're the best, there's somebody better than you. So your goal is to be the best version of yourself. And how can you do that? You have to heal, carry yourself immediately. Learn to forgive, and that's why the word forgive and forget. But don't pray to forgive and forget. If you pray to forgive and forget, you forget physically. You understand? Pray to learn from every mistake and move on so you don't make mistakes twice.
What do you think? I think, to me, in this healing journey, when you find yourself in that space where you can't move on again, it's okay to pause. It's okay to pause.
For how long?
Relax.
need.
Yes, it's okay to pause. There is a need to pause. For in that pause, in that space, in that emptiness is where you will find the truth, is where you will find your balance. That is the time that you need to seek God. Seek yourself. Go deep into yourself. You might want to even wonder and ask yourself, how do you go deep into yourself? Spend time alone. You will find yourself. See, in this life, I'm still saying it again, as an artist, as a painter, sometimes I get artist block. Do you know what I do? I pause. I leave everything around me. I go into nature. Sometimes I go out, hang out with people. I'm not drinking, but you see my energy on point. In those moments, I tell you, there are thoughts that will go through your head. There are thoughts that will go through your head. Your spirit man will speak to you in those moments. Believe me, it's okay to pause. There's nothing wrong with that. To me, that's still your healing journey. Yeah.
Okay, and on a final note, the Bible said, I've placed before you life and death. Choose life. So if you feel stuck, you don't know where to, you don't know how or where, ask yourself, do I want to live or do I want to die? And choose life. Thank you.
Please, let's make some noise. Thank you. Wonderful section. I hope you healed from each and every one of our words, from the vendors, the crowd, the hosts. You understand that we are all different star signs and we have different way of handling issues. You see this girl here, Big H, she's a Sagittarius. We drag and we shoot. We don't have time to be wasting, you understand? We know they pause for anybody, just they do and they go. But it's not the same for everybody, you understand? We all have different energy. I don't know what SA is, I don't know what she is. We all have different perspective. Anyone that touches your heart, pick it and heal. Can I get a round of applause?